That time for On the Move from 9 o'clock to midday Central African time. You are listening to us on DSTV channel 802, OpenView 628. Hey, the main way to listen to us is on www.channelafrica.co.za. Don't forget that you can actually also find us on our website where you can stream us live there. And yeah, man, it is a wonderful way to listen to us. So we're moving until midday Central African time. Thank you to Peter. Thank you to Asanda, always making sure we know what's happening in our beautiful continent, our challenges, some of the political moves, the global shifts that are happening. That's where you find them on that morning show. Well, we're going to be moving on a lighter note until midday Central African time. I don't know about you, but it's pressure enough when you're starting a new relationship. A relationship is not an easy thing to start, right?
Not at all.
Because now you're also kind of trying to get used to this person. You're trying to know them. You're trying to kind of be a person also of responsibility in how you're navigating that relationship. And then there's people asking you, are you in a relationship? Are you still single?
You know what's the hardest part I find for me, right? Mm-hmm. Is that in the beginning of a new relationship, you're so excited.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you are so excited.
Yeah.
You probably have those, butterfly feelings.
Sure.
You are so happy to have found this person.
Yeah.
And I don't know about many, but I know it feels like I want to stand on top of a mountain somewhere
and shout.
And just shout and tell
person.
whoever, because the excitement is like exploding inside of me.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about in this hour. We're going to be talking about what is a new term, and I've recently read about it. It's called a soft launch. So unlike Palesa, what you're going to do is gradually insinuate that you are in a relationship without being serious about it.
Don't get it wrong. I may be excited, right? The soft launch has been something that's been existing, right? But social media is a very different landscape, right? So I'm very different with like the people who know me in person versus how I am on social media. So yeah, 100%. A soft launch is something that is more my groove when it comes to social media interaction versus how I would interact with people who actually know me.
So how do you do a soft launch? That's what we're going to be talking about, and we're going to chat a little bit about that, and we'll speak to Leroy Dow, author and relationship coach, on that one. How do you do it in a subtle way without taking away the vulnerability of the newness of that relationship? And then in our second hour, we're going to have our becoming feature. You know, this phrase is always thrown around. You know what? I love my safe space. Give me a safe space. I always create safe space. We're always navigating that particular conversation. At times you're like, no, man, this one is just using this as a crutch to actually not take responsibility. So what is a safe space? How do you create a safe space even for yourself in a space whereby we always are interacting with a lot of challenges outside of ourselves, from our workplaces to our private homes, but also with our friendships, but social media as well hampers our safe space. So we'll be speaking to our old friend who will be making a comeback today, motivational speaker Thabo, Coach T. Mohane, on this one to find out how do you create a safe space and how important is it to improve your mental health, your relationships, the quality of your life. That's what's coming up a little bit later on. And then in our family feature, in our final hour, we'll look at the internet and how important it is for children. I know when we speak about the internet, most of the time we go on about the harmful elements of the internet. We always like, no, let's protect the young kids to actually how they use them. Let's keep them away from the internet. But there's no doubt that the internet is becoming a must use for children. We can't keep pretending like there are no benefits for children on the internet. Yes, there are many harmful things on the net, but how do we train children to navigate the minefield of the internet? We'll be speaking to Lucy Jameson, senior researcher at the Children's Institute, and Dr. Heidi Mattison, a neurosurgical researcher at the University of Cape Town's Department of Medicine. That's all coming up on the show.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Let's take this 3-hour journey together, and of course be with us on our socials. We are at Channel Africa 1, and we're happy to take this ride with you. Let's go. We're on the move.
Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Africa, it's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. Enjoy the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Nyimbo zote 7 hizo ambazo umeachia miezi 2-3 iliyopita ni audio tu au zimetoka pamoja na video?
Katika nyimbo 7 ambazo nimeachia kuna nyimbo 4 ambazo zimetoka na video tayari, lakini kuna zingine 3 ambazo bado hazijatoka video ila zipo kwenye maandalizi ya kutoka video.
EP au albamu tusubiri lini?
Hiyo tunaisubiri soon, ya mwezi wa 8 itakuwa nimeachia hizo. Zote hapo zitakuwa zinakuwa video tayari.
Hivi tangu ulivyoanza muziki mpaka sasa, Janice, umeshawahi kutoa EP au albamu?
Toka nilipoanza muziki sijawahi kutoa albamu, lakini na kawaida wa kufanya nyimbo 3-4 kwa moja. Kwa hiyo kufanya albamu nzima bado sijafikia hiyo hatua kwa sababu ya kipato zaidi ndio inasumbuaga sana.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
9 to 12 midday Central African Time. On the move with Palesa and Benjamin Moshatama.
You give me life, it is solar. Can't feel your love taking over. On a good day, I be loner. See what you make me discover. Girl, you don't change my persona. The revelation is in order. All the pressure I've been under. Why I call you Ngozi? God don't bless me Ngozi. No deserve is kind loving. The loving way you show me. Private lounging on Paris with expensive room service. No one make me do like this. Girl, I got you, no worries, no worries. He did do me wow wow. Scatter my intana. Craving on sala. No killing me kitana. Check all of his wow. A protection in the lala. No killing me kitana. He did do me wow wow wow. Scatter my intana. Craving on sala. No killing me kitana. Check all of his wow. A protection in the lala. Every no disala. No killing me kitana.
I know you're waiting around hastily to you in my Panamera. Hola, hola, oh. I'm levitating, I feel like to see when you whisper na kupenda. The thing you put for this, your love. Got my heart and my soul on love. And I wanna go crazy with you. Through the night till the sun come. Let's do it all for love. There's nothing for any kokoro. I never wanna lose this. To you I belong. This must be love.
He did do me wow wow. Scatter my intana. Craving on insala. Was killing me kitana. Check all of his wow. Protection in the lala. Every no sala. Was killing me kitana. He did do me wow wow wow. Scatter my intana. Craving on insala. Was killing me kitana. Check all of his wow. Protection in the lala. Every no disala. Was killing me kitana. Everything you do me, I like. My best friend, the love of my life. I know if it day without. I be you won't make it bad. You need off my hold on to. Girl, you know fear I did for you. I go run the matter for me and you. Make I be the reason you be living through love. Why I call you Ngozi? God don't bless me Ngozi. No deserve is kind loving. The loving way you show me. Private lounging on Paris with expensive room service. No one make me do like this. Girl, I got you, no worries, no worries. He did do me wow wow. Scatter my intana. Craving on sala. No killing me kitana. Check all of his wow. A protection in the lala. know this all out. Don't kill me, kitana.
15 minutes past 9 o'clock Central African time. You are listening to us on DSTV Channel 802 OpenView 628. That's a lovely one by Crayon featuring Ira Star. That one is titled Ngozi. It's 16 minutes past 9 o'clock Central African time. You're listening to us on all these wonderful platforms. Thank you for joining us right here on The Move. We're supposed to have the conversation with Leroy Tau, a relationship coach. We'll see if we can still get hold of him this morning. But we're talking about this subtlety of announcing your relationship and the art of a soft launch. But even broadly, like, how do you navigate your relationship on social media? Do you put your partner out there? Do you not put your partner out there? What are the main things? I remember when I was younger, I used to think, a relationship was supposed to be put on blast.
Yeah.
And that's what validates a relationship. So when a relationship is on social media, that means it's for real.
It's the real one, right? And people still think like that. I don't even think it's an age thing, because social media really takes over our lives, and some people do live their lives on social media. And in fact, I don't see anything wrong with people, expressing their love on social media, because, it's great. It's what they love. There are people who are more private and don't prefer to show parts of their lives on social media. And some people are quite happy to say, hey, look, this is who I am in my fullness, and I would love to display parts of me on social media, and the parts that make me happy. And relationships are part of that.
Yeah. The thing is, it's interesting when the relationship ends, what happens?
Yeah.
There's a lot of deleting.
I'll say this. I have had posts on social media of my partners, not a lot, because my social media platforms are for me. I don't like to put other people on my social media platforms. So even my own son, maybe there's like a happy birthday once a year post, which I get permission from him to post, right? And very few. So it's just me. But then there will be snippets of people that I have had, and I don't delete. I do not delete.
You don't delete your past relationships?
I do not
All
delete.
your boyfriends are still there?
I do not delete
all of them.
My past relationships on social media.
All of them, Pali?
I do not delete.
All your people are there?
All of my people. If I have posted you on social media,
you are still there.
You are still there on that post, right? Because for me personally, it's like that was who I was at that particular time, and I did it from a place of pride, of wanting to, and so I'm not ashamed of the relationship just because it ended. But either way, I'm also a little bit of a soft launcher, so there's hardly any like pictures of like you and I standing and taking a picture together. Maybe it will be a snippet of a video, just like passing by. So because of that, because it's also not that like outwardly displayed, I don't see any purpose for deleting it.
Yeah, with my social media, I'm very private with my social media. So everything is locked, everything is private, right?
Yeah.
So I post whatever I want to post on my social media, right? But when it comes to relationships, I'm very like, not even a soft launcher. I'm like, not even anything.
No launch.
No launches.
No launch ever.
Because you know what? Like, that's what a relationship is. It's between two people. And when you have other people part of it, to a large degree, I feel like now I'm inviting eyes from outside this beautiful thing that I have to actually participate in this in relationship that I'm also trying to figure out and navigate, even when it's like a mature relationship, even if it's a long-term relationship. I find it very difficult to navigate people that I don't know's opinions about my relationships and my own view of that relationship. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, I hear you. I hear you 100%, because anything you put on social media is open to be discussed. But I don't think people actually discuss everybody's relationships like that on social media. I've never had like a post and somebody says, hey, this and this about your relationship. And I think these are some of the things that maybe like celebrities have to worry about, because people have more of an opinion about what goes on in their lives. I'm just an ordinary folk, so I don't see that as something that was particularly...
I say it as an ordinary person. I mean, the closest people in my life. You know, I think I can only give them access to when they're with me in my relationship. So when you're with me and my partner, then you have access to us. You know, when you're not with us, then you don't have any access.
The access to that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a break. We're talking about the soft launch, and maybe you can let me know if you are a soft launcher or a hard launcher when it comes to the relationship dynamics on social media, especially when you guys have the conversation between you and your partner about social media posting. That's another one altogether, and we'll discuss that after this break.
21 minutes past 9 o'clock Central African time. Do stay with us.
Ahoy, matey!
Captain here to help, right, boys?
Set sail with us on a digital voyage like no other. Channel Africa has a treasure trove of awesomeness. That is our website and social media pages.
Tell me, why are you here?
We want you to be part of our adventure.
The winds are changing, Captain. And this time...
Imagine a world where curiosity knows no bounds, where entertainment meets enlightenment, and where every click leads to the African perspective. Visit us on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, or follow us on Instagram or on X at Channel Africa One. Go on, like us on Facebook at Channel Africa One. So, spread the word. Tell a friend that Channel Africa's online variety is what they need on the web. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Get set and be ready to go. On the move with Palesa and Benjamin Moshatama.
C'est lui qui connaît toutes tes souffrances. Oh, comment penses-tu qu'il t'a oublié? Quand il y a Dieu dedans, mon ami, tu seras que devant. Et s'il y a Dieu dedans, crois-moi, tu seras devant. Ma part n'est pas encore venue. Un jour pour moi va sortir. Ma part n'est pas encore venue. Un jour pour moi va sortir. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Yahweh, il va donner pour moi. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Yahweh, il va donner pour moi. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Avance et confiance, car si tu demandes, alors lui là il te lance. Même quand tu penses que la vie n'a plus de sens, façon il t'élève, te soulève toute puissance. Lolo, tout ce que tu vis là d'aller était déjà prévu et malé. Tes douleurs, oh, est-ce que ça peut le dépasser? Jamais. Quand il y a Dieu dedans, mon ami, tu seras que devant. Et s'il y a Dieu dedans, crois-moi, tu seras devant. Ma part n'est pas encore venue. Un jour pour moi va sortir. Ma part n'est pas encore venue. Un jour pour moi va sortir. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Yahweh, il va donner pour moi. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Yahweh, il va donner pour moi. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Comme Francis Ganoulo. Oh, il va donner pour moi. Oh, il va donner
We have Grace M on this one. Ilava Dona por Moi is the name of the song. It's 9:26 Central Africa time. We're speaking about the soft launch. And these days, a relationship, I mean, unless you're living under a rock, right? If in the beginning of any relationship, there's going to be a conversation about social media, especially if both you and your partner are on social media. It doesn't matter in what particular platform or, to what extent. I mean, there are people who have like 5 followers. It's okay. So whether you have 5 or like 5,000 followers, you do have to navigate that space because it's a space that a lot of people have to think about now. It's part of our reality. It's part of our daily lives. And with the love that's brewing inside of you, especially when the love is new, do you want to post your person on social media? And there are people, I know celebrities make the soft launch quite popular because many people want to know what's going on in the lives of celebrities, right? We want to know about what's happening in their personal life, who they're dating. And so I've seen a lot of like celebrities do the soft launch on social media, and it creates intrigue and it also takes their numbers up.
How does it look like? That's the thing. How do you introduce someone online in a soft way?
Okay, here's this.
Because I feel like just showing up on social media is already like heavy.
Yeah. So the soft launch is that you are launching the fact that you are in a relationship or you may be in a relationship, but we don't know who you're in a relationship with, right? Yeah. So take Instagram, for example, and TikTok. So usually it comes with imagery, right? Yeah. So those platforms where you use images like videos or photos. So I'm going to take a photo of you and I, Benjamin, right? And then it's my platform. So I'm in the front. And then you are here in front of me facing the other way.
Oh, okay.
Right? Or it's like half of your face. Half of your face, but you're facing the other way. So we're seeing the back of your head and we're seeing me.
That's a bit
and
traumatic.
I'm soft launching you because you guys now know that I'm in a relationship with someone.
Yeah.
But do you know who? No, you have no idea. You have no idea. So
okay,
I'm
that's
pretty
like
much saying I'm taken, right? I'm off the market.
Okay.
But you don't get to know who I am with. And that's where the soft launch begins.
I remember there was a time where the soft launch was a hand holding your hand.
Yes, that is a soft launch. It's still that time, right? Walking on a beach, maybe on a vacation, and there's just like a hand with another hand, and you're like, that is a soft launch, honey. That is a soft launch.
But do you think it's a good thing, especially at the beginning of a relationship, to actually do a soft launch, or should you just like think about it in a way whereby it is just supposed to be something that you do when you are really, really sure of that relationship?
I think it doesn't matter, right? I think it doesn't matter. Wherever your feelings take you, whether it's the very beginning, even if it's 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
But I think the most important part about the launch itself is the conversation that you have with your partner. Have that conversation and find out how comfortable are you to be on my social media platforms? How comfortable am I to be on your social media platforms? Is it something that matters to you? Which is a conversation that is not really had a lot, right? Because maybe you are someone who enjoys public displays of affection, and social media is a public display of affection. Yeah. And if your partner doesn't enjoy public displays of affection, they might have a problem with you posting them on their social media, or they might say, I'm more than happy. If you are someone who likes public displays of affection, I'm okay with you posting me on your social media. Whether you do it as a hard launch or a soft launch, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But I want you to know that even though I love you or I want to be with you, I will not be posting you on my platforms because I am not comfortable with posting my relationships on social media. So it's the conversation for me that's more important than the launch itself.
Well, what's your take on this one? How do you introduce people on social media to the fact that you are in a relationship, that you're off the market, and at times you're not probably like, serious yet in this relationship, but you're just letting everyone else know, like, look, I am not gonna actually consider other relationships. How do you go about it? Remember, you can give us your thoughts on our WhatsApp number +2 7 63406 9126. That is our WhatsApp number. Let us know on that one, or you can just let us know on our socials at Channel Africa 1 is where you can find us. It's 9:30 Central African time. Do stay with us right here on Channel Africa.
Sports. on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Good morning, guys. We begin with motor racing. Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff says George Russell and Kimi Antonelli are the first choice for next season, appearing to rule out an immediate move for Red Bull's four-time Formula One champion Max Verstappen. Verstappen is third overall at the midpoint of the 24-round campaign, 69 points behind McLaren's overall leader Oscar Piastri and 61 adrift of the Australian's British teammate Lando Norris. The Dutch driver's dream of a fifth successive title is disappearing, and with a new engine era starting in 2026 and the Mercedes power unit expected to be the pick of the field, there has been talk of Verstappen switching. That speculation was put in even sharper focus after Red Bull sacked long-serving team boss Christian Horner this month, with Laurent Mekies in charge at this weekend's Belgian Grand Prix. Russell's contract expires at the end of the season, although he is also managed by Mercedes, while 18-year-old rookie Antonelli only joined this year and is a big talent for the future. Now on to football news. Mark Brace has denied he has quit as coach of Cameroon national football team, despite the country's football federation, FECAFOOT, confirming his exit on Wednesday. The Belgian said his email was likely hacked and his alleged resignation letter did not come from him. It is the latest twist in a long-running battle between Brace and the FECAFOOT since his appointment by the country's sports ministry in April 2024. A letter dated 21st of July, supposedly from Brace to the sports ministry and FECAFOOT, said he had made the decision to terminate his contract due to the non-payment of his remuneration and that of his staff for more than 60 days. Cameroon's sports ministry confirmed that Brace remained in his role. FECAFOOT has not responded to the coach's denial. On to rugby news. Zimbabwe's national rugby team, the Sables, will make a first appearance at the Rugby World Cup in Australia in 2027 after a 36-year absence. The team has improved, and they proved the years of hard work have paid off, with Zimbabwe becoming the second African nation to confirm its place at the tournament alongside reigning champions South Africa. The Sables beat Namibia 30-28 in a thrilling Rugby Africa final in the Ugandan capital Kampala to qualify for the four-yearly global showpiece. The Sables appeared at the first two Rugby World Cup tournaments in 1987 and 1991. Zimbabwe Sables fly half Ian Pryor says the next 2 years will be used to get the team competitive for the 2027 tournament.
It's a really exciting period. It's a game changer for rugby union in Zimbabwe. It gives us a lot of confidence now to build for the next 2 years, and a World Cup in Australia is a pretty special thing to work hard for.
Currently ranked 26th in the world rankings, Zimbabwe will now turn their attention to the World Cup 2027 draw. Rugby Africa President Herbert Mensah says they are putting their hands on deck for Zimbabwe to get the full support of everyone ahead of the World Cup.
Let's not go small. Let's make sure Zimbabwe's got full support at every single level. And then I've spoken to World Rugby as well, the high performance section, to make sure that technically we're there to support them in the run into the World Cup. So we're ready. I think Zimbabwe are ready. The government officials here seem to be ready. The boys are definitely ready.
And finally, with tennis news, world number one Jannik Sinner has reappointed fitness coach Umberto Ferrara, with whom he parted ways following the investigation into his positive test for a banned substance. Ferrara and physiotherapist Giacomo Naldi left the Italians team last August, 5 months after Sinner returned 2 positive tests for closterbol. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Fide Lengwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. This Mandela Month, we honor his belief that education is the most powerful weapon to change the world.
Education is one of the most important weapons in a country.
Catch us on DSTV Bouquet 802. Palesa and Benjamin fuel your day with fresh African perspective on Channel Africa.
All right, it's 35 minutes past 9 o'clock Central African time. Let's move on right now to our latest business.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Good morning, I'm Nosipho Zuma in your business news this hour. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa will attend a showcase of the successful implementation of the latest investment for production of the new BMW X3 plug-in hybrid electric vehicle at the automaker's plant at Rosslyn, Pretoria. The event marks the start of the new vehicle and will highlight the firm's commitment to strengthening South Africa's economy vitality. Today's theme is BMW Group South Africa, leading today, enabling tomorrow. BMW says the event will also showcase the active partnership between industry and government. South Africa's headline consumer inflation is expected to increase in the latter part of 2025, driven by food and fuel prices. In the month of June, inflation was gentle after an increase to 3% from 2.8%. Despite the expected spike in inflation, the Reserve Bank is expected to cut interest rate next by at least 25 basis points. South Africa's Reserve Bank Governor Lesetja Kganyago says the Monetary Policy Committee decisions in this environment are a challenge.
We are not the only one. Even the US Fed, they found that they struggle to assess the impact of the tariffs on the US economy. So in our analysis, we first have to understand the impact of the tariffs on the US economy, what it would mean for output growth and what it would mean for inflation, because then it determines what the monetary policy stance in the US would be, and then what the global financial conditions would look like.
The General Industrial Workers Union of South Africa has condemned the deployment of state-owned South African Airways to undermine a legitimate strike by FlySafair pilots. In a statement, the union says SAA's operation of FlySafair routes and accommodation of its passengers constitutes state-subsidized scapping and another fundamental betrayal of the working class by the African National Congress. Kiusa President Mamela Sibei comments.
This intervention, cynically framed as emergency agreement, is a blatant attempt to break legitimate industrial action by over 200 pilots organized by Solidarity and sets a dangerous precedent.
Ghana plans to shorten mining license durations and mandate direct revenue sharing with local communities in its most sweeping mining law reforms in nearly 2 decades. The planned overhaul reflects a broader trend across West Africa, where governments are rewriting mining codes to capture more value from rising commodity prices. Ghanaian Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Amakofi-Bua says the changes, which include scrapping automatic renewal of some licenses, will apply only to future contracts. Renele Chaga reports.
Under the proposed law changes, prospecting licenses would no longer be held indefinitely, and the maximum term for mining leases would be reduced from 30 years to a shorter period agreed by the government and firms. Companies failing to meet environmental, social, or production obligations would lose the right to automatic license renewal. The minister says the overhaul of the Minerals and Mining Act and mining policy was 85% complete following extensive stakeholder consultations. Renele Chaga for Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg.
And finally, oil prices have urged higher, supported by renewed optimism surrounding U.S. trade talks, which are expected to ease the strain on the global economy, along with the larger than anticipated drop in U.S. crude stockpiles. Brent crude futures gained 29 U.S. cents to 68. To 68.5, crude futures climbed 33 cents to $65.58 per barrel. Oil prices saw a minimal movement on Wednesday as markets closely followed progress in trade discussions between the U.S. and the European Union. Your financial indicators: $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,528 naira, and Botswana is 13.38. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 43, and in Zambia is 23.03. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 54. Russia is 78 rubles 44. India is 86 rupees 37. China at 7 yuan 17, and in South Africa $1 is trading at 17.54. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,379 and platinum at $1,407 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $68.80 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Moshatama.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Africa, meet Abedi.
Yeah, that's me.
Abedi is a music lover through and through.
I really love African music.
He's got a taste for all kinds of tunes and spends his days listening to Channel Africa. Guess what? He didn't know.
Okay.
Channel Africa wants to help Abedi and all music lovers everywhere to discover even more incredible music. That is why Channel Africa is calling on all African musicians to submit their music. Musicians, remember to give us all your relevant information. Make your submissions at music@channelafrica.co.za. Submissions are your chance to be heard on radio. But sadly, they do not guarantee that you will be playlisted. All submissions will be carefully reviewed to see if they meet our station's requirement. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
SABC Sport brings you Chasing the Sun, a powerful 5-part documentary series about the Springboks, telling the rousing tale of their path to redemption and ultimate World Cup glory in 2019. Starting 13 July at 7:30 p.m. on SABC2, tune in every Sunday for the highs, the heartache and the heroics that made rugby history. Stream each chapter on SABC Plus, anytime, anywhere. No subscription needed. Don't miss Chasing the Sun this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC2. Be there when history shines.
Download the SABC app and take Channel Africa with you everywhere you go. No time to waste. Be on the move with Benjamin Moshatama and Palesa.
This is my decision. This is my decision. I don't think you listen. You listen. I don't think you listen. For me to come out, it must mean I'm not the dog. It must mean I'm not the same. It must mean I'm on your case. For me to come out, it means that I'm not the dog. I want to show you my world. Give me one break, I need faith. Faith to believe you, faith to receive. Give me something I'm lacking. I don't need nothing. You are my everything.
Hey, we love our girl Thames, Me and You. So a very beautiful video of her at a concert. So she is very, very hot. I'll leave my private comments to myself on her hotness. But she did such a cool thing where there's a lot of crowds in that particular concert. And of course she was performing. And there was a man who just had his vinyl out saying, sign my copy, sign my copy. And she ran there, signed the copy. But you know what,
his pen wasn't working.
His pen wasn't working.
Yes,
oh,
so
his pen wasn't working.
And she tried to sign the vinyl, but his pen wasn't working.
I thought the kiss was an addition
No.
Okay.
She tried to sign it, but his pen wasn't working. So instead of, because, you know, and
She's
it's a
in a
rush,
rush,
right?
yeah.
She's in a rush. So she tried to sign and the pen is not working. And she decides to just like kiss the vinyl and leave her lipstick print.
Oh, man, I don't know how he's going to save that lipstick print on that vinyl cover.
He better find a way. I would get tape, clear tape, and then stick it on, like clear tape on top of the kiss print.
Okay,
and
to preserve it?
To preserve the print.
Or laminate the print?
Yeah, it laminates the print, right? Because vinyl is paper, right?
Yes.
The vinyl cover is paper. So if you take clear tape and put it over the kiss, it's going to stick to the paper, but it's also going to laminate the kiss.
But imagine trying to save that kiss for the duration of the concert.
What do you mean?
Because it's gonna smudge. It's going. Anything could happen.
Because he doesn't have the tape yet. Oh no, he must have held that vinyl like this that entire time.
But what was cool about that video, the way he was blushing, he was completely in love with Thames. Well, that takes us to 48 minutes past 9 o'clock Central African time. We're moving things on to our becoming feature, and we're going to be speaking about this interesting thing that everyone talks about, and nobody really investigates what it actually means: creating a safe space and how we can make it a reality. Because I think most of the time it's kind of theoretical, right? You think you can't carry your safe space wherever you go. You think it's a moment in the day where you go to a private room and you actually have that safe space. Yes, it can actually look like that. But in fact, I'm of the view that you can carry a safe space wherever you go. A safe space is something that can be with you no matter where you are. Well, a safe space is described where you can be yourself without fear of judgment or harm. You can actually set boundaries, communicate effectively, prioritize self-care. But that's not something you do once in a while or when something actually happens. You can practice a safe space as a person wherever you go. Like we are in this room, Palesa and I are in a safe space because we know the boundaries between each other. We know each other in many different ways. We are layered. Even what you hear on air is layered with the relationship we have off air.
Yeah.
And there is kind of a safe space environment. We've got our differences that are also part of that safe space. We know where our differences lie. We know where not to rub each other the wrong way.
Yes, we do.
So I know when Palesa is not in a good space. I know. I can actually tell. And I know how to respond to her because I've worked with her so long. But how do you create and harvest that culture in a very long time? Palesa knows when Ben is going to start being argumentative.
Yeah.
He's going to start creating a debate out of this. I'm going to get out of here. So we both know. So that's what we're going to be talking about, creating safe space, not only for yourself, because it's easy to create safe space for yourself, but what about for others? Well, it's 9:50 Central African time. That's what's coming on the show. We'll be speaking to motivational speaker Thabo, Coach Timo Khane. He'll be back on the show. We haven't had him in a while, so it's going to be great to catch up with him there. Let's take a break. We'll be back.
Você é fluente em português? É apaixonado por rádio e quer trabalhar na África do Sul? Você tem documentos que o qualificam para trabalhar na África do Sul? Nesse caso, podemos ter uma oportunidade para você trabalhar no Canal África. Envie seu currículo e demonstração para Canal África at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Lembre-se, se você não receber alguma resposta nossa em 14 dias, isso significa que você não foi selecionado. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628.
Benjamin Moshatama and Palesa on the move.
Nikupeleke Mpumalanga nahisi njozi nipo naye bangothi Jozi pingo naye hakuna chozi nikiwa naye vile tulipatana naye ni kweli tumeshibana naye.
Maswali mengi najiuliza every day. Kipi nimefanya kupendwa na yeye? Nili
When it comes to matters of the heart, I was a bit disabled. Different day though, who is this hazel-eyed princess angel? Make me take you and make you a Mrs. K.O. And if she's faithful, whatever that she needs is paid for. Give you all of me, just say so. I mean business, case closed. From a Casanova to a monogamist. Graduated from a misogynist, I was a chauvinist. Broken promises, now you the one I'm running with. Shower you with compliments to boost your confidence. Ayy, I'm on some grown man shit. I'm on some grown man shit. Mga lastig and roll with tanong mo to it be so tragic. It be so tragic, yo, that's it.
This is Vanessa MD featuring KO. We actually had KO here on the show two weeks ago.
So cool.
So that's very, very an incredible conversation that we had with him. Such a great guy, but also like someone who really has longevity in the industry. This one is titled Nobody But Me. It's 9:55 Central Africa time. We're going to be speaking about safe spaces and creating safe spaces in the next hour of the show. And I think many people, when they think about a safe space, they think about how they create a safe space for themselves or finding themselves in a place that is safe for them. But the issue is we interact with people all the time, right? Yeah. With our families, with our friends, with our colleagues. And all those spaces need to be safe for us. So creating a safe space isn't just about you as an individual. It's about every interaction that you have, those interactions being safe spaces as well. And not just how other people can hold a safe space for you, but also how you can hold a safe space for others.
And that's the tricky part, because most of the time we are inside of our own heads, right?
Yeah.
We prioritizing our needs. We're having internal dialogues around, the environment that we're in, how we are interrelating with others. But we never consider what the other person is feeling at that particular moment. And that's the difficult part, right? Being heard and making sure that others hear you. And I always feel threatened, to be honest. It's just something I need to work on. I feel threatened most of the time when I'm not heard. So it's like one of those things. I'm like, I always consider those relationships whereby I'm saying something and you're not hearing me. It's like, and then you're also like projecting what I could be saying, or you alluding to what you think of me in your response, and you're not listening to what I'm saying. And I think people do that a lot. I tend to do that a lot. It's one of the human dilemmas that we have, whereby we just have that kind of energy because we're always thinking in our own heads, and we also want to be heard, but sometimes we struggle to hear others as well.
That is true, and there's so many dynamics that exist with those, those relationships, right? Because what you think the other person is doing could be something else that you're also projecting on them, and vice versa. So essentially, all our interactions are also projections of our own fears and traumas, and even the positive things that we think and feel are part of those interactions. And there's so many subdivisions in the safe space, because you and I could have a safe space maybe speaking about work, but maybe we haven't created a safe space when we chat about our personal lives or our relationships.
Sure.
So a safe space can change at any moment, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have a certain interaction with someone, once the interaction changes, it could be unsafe. So it's also about navigating the dynamics and different levels that you guys are on in that particular relationship.
And also, it's important that that safe space you initially created for yourself, right?
Yes.
So you can't want a safe space from other people or with other people when you haven't created a safe space for yourself. Have you forgiven yourself?
Yes.
Have you dealt with past issues? Are you dealing with your present challenges in a healthy way? So I'm looking forward to that conversation because it's so multi-layered. We'll be having that conversation with our guest a little bit later on, who's a motivational speaker, an awesome guy by the name of Coach T. We call him Coach T. Thabo Mokhane will be joining us there later on. And then in our family feature, we're going to be speaking about the internet. The internet is a tricky thing for children, right? Because there's no clause that says when you go to Google, there's nothing before you land on Google that says, how old are you?
Yeah.
That's the tricky part about the internet. It doesn't give you a sign up.
Yeah.
So
same.
as soon as you go into the internet, you're already in that wild west.
Yes. Yeah. True.
And it's like, okay, the kids need to be on the wild west. They need to interact with the wild west. But how do they do it? How do you keep them away from the wild side and keep them going west?
Okay, it's a tricky one indeed, especially in the time that we live in. And there are so many platforms where you need to like speak about your age and like, you know, but kids lie and the internet can't actually tell, right?
Can't verify.
There's
no ID verification.
There's no ID verification on most of these things. So even if there were platforms, like even if you open Google and they asked you how old you were, you could say you're 18 when you're not, and then you're in that Wild West. So we'll keep chatting about that. That's in our final hour right here on the show. But of course, we keep things moving into the next hour of the show. What does a safe space feel like for you? That's the conversation we're going into. It's 10 a.m. Central Africa time, and we have Jwalane Tulongwebe with our latest news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Palesa. Top stories. Sawa protests are set to continue in Togo's capital tomorrow, and the case of South Africa's rapper back in court. Good morning. Tensions are rising in Togo after a new constitution has allowed long-time head of state Faure Gnassingbe to shift to a new role as prime minister and escape the constraint of a presidential term limit. The move has triggered anger on the streets of the capital. Lome protests are set to continue on Friday. At least 5 demonstrators have died while confronting official security forces in recent weeks. The Foundation for Human Rights in South Africa has filed a court application that seeks to oppose former President Thabo Mbeki and former Justice Minister Bridget Mabandla's application to intervene in a constitutional damage case. The case involves families of victims who were killed or went missing during the liberation struggle. The families are requesting the court to declare that their rights have been violated, citing a lack of progress in prosecutions since the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Mbeki and Mabandla are seeking leave to intervene on the basis that they have a direct and substantial interest in the proceedings, as they are accused of political interference. Zaid Kimi is the executive director of the foundation.
We think President Mbeki and Ms. Mabandla have many other options if they feel their reputations are being damaged. They have resources, and they can take whatever other legal action they wish to take. There's no need for them to intervene in our case against the government. They are not a party to the case. They're not being accused directly of anything. We recognize that those issues will be ventilated elsewhere.
5 men accused of the murder of South African rapper Keenan aka Forbes and his friend, celebrity chef Tibelo Tibbs Motswane, will today be back in the High Court in Durban for a pre-trial hearing. Forbes and Motswane were gunned down outside a restaurant in a popular Durban nightclub in 2023. The alleged mastermind, Mziwe Temba Gwabini and co-accused Lindoguhle Mkwanazi, Lindani Ndimande, Siyanda Mieza and Lindoguhle Ndimande were arrested about a year later. They are facing charges including murder, conspiracy to commit murder and money laundering. A pre-trial hearing normally paves the way for the setting of a trial date. Researchers have offered encouraging news for those who struggle to meet the target of 10,000 steps a day recommended by fitness tracking devices. The findings of a global study published in the Lancet Public Health Journal suggests walking only 7,000 steps brings many of the same health benefits. The BBC's Philippa Roxby has the story.
The study analysed data from more than 160,000 adults worldwide. It found that walking around 7,000 steps a day was linked to reductions in the risk of heart disease, as well as dementia, depression, type 2 diabetes and cancer. Although the evidence for benefits to cancer and dementia were small, and there were many other factors which could play a role in overall health, the researchers say even modest step counts of around 4,000 per day are good for our health, particularly if you're less active.
And finally, scholar and academic Dr. Arumna Ote, who is also former treasurer of the World Bank, former director general of Nigeria's Securities Exchange Commission, says she hopes her new award-winning book, All Hands on Deck, Unleash Prosperity Through World-Class Capital Markets, will inspire readers to know they have a role to play in making the world, and Africa in particular, a better place for all. She was speaking to Peter Ndoro on Channel Africa Conversations podcast.
So, if someone picks up All Hands on Deck today, what is the one thing that you hope that they'll walk away with?
So the title is really my hope of what they'll walk away with, which is that there is a role for them to play in making sure that they have a better life and in making sure that society and everyone in society has a better life. That's essentially, it's my call to action to each individual to do their bit and to show them the pathway to doing their bit, to making a difference for themselves and to society. That's really what it is.
And be sure to catch that latest episode of Channel Africa Conversations on our YouTube channel at Channel Africa 1. Recapping the top story, the Sawa protests are set to continue tomorrow in Togo's capital Lome. Tensions are rising after a new constitution has allowed long-time head of state Faring Yaksigbe to shift to a new role as Prime Minister and escape the constraint of presidential term limits. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo Mwebe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It's 5 minutes past 10 Central Africa time, and of course you're in the right place if you are in search of that African perspective. This is Channel Africa, and this is where you'll get exactly that. Keep tuning in on www.channelafrica.co.za. Find us on the SABC Plus app, as well as on our audio bouquets, DSTV channel 802 and OpenView HD channel 628. What does it mean for you to be in a safe space? There's so many layers to this particular conversation that we'll be having in this hour of the show. Creating a safe space for yourself is of utmost importance, because you cannot give the responsibility of your safety and your growth to others. However, it's also important to find yourself in safe spaces in all the interactions, or in most of the interactions that you are in. So within your family structure, with your friends, with your partner, with your romantic partner, as well as with your colleagues is it a safe space for you? And are you holding space for those around you as well? So are you concentrating more on the fact that, oh, these people are not creating a safe space for me? Or are you introspecting and say, am I creating a safe space for others? These are the dynamics we'll be chatting about in this hour of the show. Motivational speaker Thabo, Coach T. Mohane, will be joining us in this hour of the show to speak exactly about that, a safe space.
Yeah, I mean, especially for us guys, we always avoid these kind of conversations. Right. And at times we allow people to relate to us without giving us that safe space. Mm-hmm. So we never... we're very avoidant of the safe space, and we also would rather give others a safe space. But also women also do that a lot, I think, because they could create safe spaces for their children, create safe spaces for the people in their lives, for their parents, but they themselves don't even find that safe space. So I think in multiple genders, we are doing this a lot, where we are kind of not allowing ourselves to have the same provision of that, because we don't feel like safety is our first priority. And I think safety is such an important thing in our lives, how we navigate the world, but mostly importantly, to also assert our confidence why we belong to the world. So that's going to be a very cool conversation that we're going to have with our friend Thabo Coach T. Mohane, who is a multidimensional, dynamic, inspirational coach. He is a change catalyst. He describes himself as a person who wants to help unpack why adult friendships are so complex, or why life as adult is very, very difficult, and helps us to navigate those particular issues. And remember, you can stay in touch with us on our different platforms. If you are live streaming, thank you for joining us on that live stream. If you're like, what are you talking about, Ben? What is the live stream? Go to our social media and you can find our live stream in 2 specific platforms. When you go to our Facebook page, you'll find that live stream going on throughout the 3 hours of the show. So all you have to do is follow us on our Facebook page titled Channel Africa, or you can find us on our YouTube page, and the handle there is at Channel Africa 1. And you can see beautiful Palesa today. She's got a new hairstyle, looking very pretty, like a old school brandy 90s cool hairstyle, right? What do we used to call those brandies, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Brandy hairstyle, the brandy hairstyle. As kids, we used to call it brandy.
It's so funny how we actually used to name the hairstyles from celebrities who do them.
Exactly. So that's all coming up on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Start your day right with Channel Africa Breakfast.
That smells delicious.
Live, 5 days a week.
Este é o Caleidoscópio de Canal África, com Remo Samo e João Yabalá.
O surto da cólera em Angola tem causado grande preocupação, afetando já mais de metade das províncias do país. Simultaneamente, a Agência dos Estados Unidos para o Desenvolvimento Internacional, USAID, um dos maiores doadores mundiais de assistência humanitária, decidiu não priorizar os países com maior incidência de malária. Para discutirmos as causas do alastramento da cólera em Angola e os impactos dessa decisão da USAID, convidamos o Dr. Jeremias Agostinho, médico e mestre em saúde pública, para partilhar a sua visão sobre o tema.
A doença, nesse momento, representa o maior risco de saúde pública que nós temos. Nos últimos anos, a nossa preocupação esteve sempre centrado com os casos de malária, os casos de tuberculose e também de infecção por VIH-Sida. A forma como, em pouco menos de 2 meses, os casos de cólera vêm aumentando, acaba por representar, nessa altura, um dos maiores desafios que o país tem. É expectável que, nesta fase, o número de casos venha a aumentar.
De segunda a sexta-feira, das 20 às 21 horas locais, este é o Caleidoscópio do Canal África.
Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mukwenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Keep keeping you on the know and on the move.
They tell me this, they tell me that. They say my bitch, say she a bad. Anytime I knock with that. No rubber band, no rubber band. Every time I put down, they show me that. If I know pull out, she got my back. Although you ooh, I'm happy that. Although you ooh, say everything I do is for my woman. Anything I talk, when you talk, I go do, Me, I know they see another girl for my visuals. Loving you, now my ritual. My girl got me, she no stingy. She give me love, so keep on tinting. All of them moves you been practicing. Put it on top me. Girl, give me love for my moto. Girl, you light in my store. She and me gone, I must go. She know they act, she know so. Say anything I do is for my woman. Anything I talk, when you talk, I go do, Me, I know they see another girl for my visuals. Loving you, now my ritual. I know they share my thing. I know they like your pain. My girl, they make me busy. She understand my pitching. Like, Angela. Oh, Angela. I back out for her belly. My girl, got no problem. Oh, all of a sudden, she said, me a copy. Two-Face and my colleague. Okay, my baby. Oh, all of a sudden, she said, me a copy. Two-Face and my colleague. Okay, my baby. Say anything I do is for my woman. Anything I talk, when you talk, I go do,
This is Omalay, and this one is titled Woman, right here on Channel Africa. It's 10:14 Central Africa time. We're going into our Becoming feature here on The Move, and this is where we speak about the human experience and navigating the human experience, as we should every day, every second, every millisecond. We're continuously navigating, and one of the things that we navigate is the spaces that we find ourselves in. As individuals, we find ourselves, we have to create a space that is safe for us within ourselves. So that is the first responsibility that we have, right? To make sure that we are a safe space for ourselves. But what about the environments that you find yourself in? Do you feel safe in all those environments? And safety isn't just physical, right? Because a lot of the time when we speak about safety, we think about, maybe it's a little bit dangerous. Maybe, something bad could happen to me. But safety is also an emotion, a feeling that happens inside of you when you interact with others, when you're in a particular place. Are you in a safe space? Today we're speaking about a safe space, creating those safe spaces in your different dimensions. So within your family dimensions, with your parents, with your children, creating safe spaces with your colleagues, your friends, even your romantic partners. And all of these need quite a lot from us. Communication, boundaries, and priorities must be put ahead in order to create these safe spaces. But we're finding out exactly how with a friend of ours, motivational speaker, Thabo, Coach T Mokhane. Coach T, it's been a while and it's great to have you with us. Good morning.
Good morning to you and good morning to your listeners. It's good to be back.
It's good to have you back as well. But let's speak about this, right? Safe space, safety is something that is of primary importance to humans, right? For us to thrive, we need to be and feel safe. And these are two different dynamics, right? Because just because you are safe, it doesn't mean that you feel safe. And we need to continuously navigate these dimensions in different spaces. But in this particular instance, because a lot of the time when we speak about safety, we think about, the dangers, being mugged, being hurt. Physical safety is obviously important. But what does safe space actually mean?
So a safe space means a space where you feel like you belong and you feel like you are accepted, right? Not just a part of you, but holistically, the good, the bad, all of who you are, you feel like in this particular space I'm accepted. Because a lot of us, we operate in areas where our acceptance is based on our performance, right? As long as you perform, you can be in this particular space. But we all need areas or spaces in our lives where we feel like, whether I'm performing or not, whether I'm good or not, whether I'm feeling like a champion or not, in this particular space, I can just be and be accepted. And that's what a safe space is like. Just that one area where you feel like, I don't have to perform here. I don't have to put on a mask. I can just be my raw self and know that I won't be judged, know that it won't change how you treat me, and know that in the future, I'm not going to be, I'm not going to regret having opened up myself to you in that way. That's what I say.
Yeah, that's so interesting, because it means that you have to open yourself up to vulnerability, don't you, Coach T?
Absolutely, but over time, it doesn't just happen, right? One of the things I always say to my coaching clients is that you have to allow time to prove people's main objectives. Why exactly are people relating to you? And over time, when you see somebody stay in your life, whether you are being good, whether you are performing, whether things are great or not, that allows you the ability to then know that this is a place where it's not determined on my performance, and I can start to actually open up more and be more vulnerable. But it's a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
I always say intimacy is a two-way street. There's a great way TDJ expresses intimacy, and he says, it's into me see. But you can't see into me if you don't give me the opportunity to see into you. And that's why it takes time. It's not in every space where you should be vulnerable. And I don't like the word vulnerability, because especially when it comes to men, we see it as such a weak word. But I prefer the word open, right? Where I am fully open to experiencing you and you to experiencing me in a holistic manner.
You know, Coach T, I find it very interesting that you say that it's a space where you can be completely yourself. But unfortunately, for many of us, we don't do the work on ourselves, and then we expect other people to hold a space for us where we can be that. But you don't even know who your real self is. So not only are you performative with the people around you, but for the most part, you've been performative with yourself. Let's start there. Creating a safe space within you before expecting it in various environments.
I think we think it's easy, but it's not, right? To just give you a simple example, a lot of the times when in prison, when they want to break the hardest of criminals, they throw them into solitary confinement. And a lot of them break, can't even spend 2 weeks in there without breaking, because to face yourself is not the easiest thing, because oftentimes you're not just facing the decisions that you made, but you're facing your dark side as well. So community can assist in that. As much as, yes, it's important to start doing the work in yourself, but having support, because not all of us were raised with the right tools, with the right support structures. Not all of us were affirmed. And unfortunately, some of us have blind spots that we don't even see the areas that are actually damaging to us. So a healthy community, and a community that can keep you accountable, is oftentimes a very good starting point, because in that space, you can have community and you can feel like I'm not alone. One of the things that a lot of us struggle with is when we are isolated, that's when we are the most negative to ourselves. That's when we speak down on ourselves. And oftentimes, that's when we don't even see or face our blind spots. But when there's one or two people who you can trust, who can listen without judgment, but listen to understand, and who can ask you the critical questions that even in the moment you might not be willing to answer, but when you go home, you can think about. Oftentimes, that's a conducive environment that can help you start to actually do the work within, because most of us aren't equipped to do the work in any case.
Well, let's take a break, Coach T. I think it's a great way to open up this conversation, and we'll continue chatting about it after our break, creating a safe space. What makes you feel most safe when you're interacting with others, when you, even with the people who are closest to you? Engage in this conversation on +27 63 406 9126.
The Upside, your afternoons just got even better.
Bantu Biko Street.
by Simpiwe Dana. Ndi ready. Simpiwe, 20 years in song. So what emotions come up when you hear that, hey, you've been doing this for 20 years now?
It almost feels like no time has passed, eh? I just, I know obviously time has passed, but I don't feel it. Even about my age, I'm 45. I always get shocked when I think, oh my God, in 5 years' time, I'll be 50. Because for me as an artist, it's almost like when it comes to certain things, time stands still. And as a result, you find that a lot of artists are very childlike, which, helps them to always have a fresh approach to issues.
I tell you what, I'm feeling healed just by that.
We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the Upside. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802. We are up. We are ready. We are on the move with Palesa and Benjamin Moshatama on Channel Africa.
Hey, we can't run away that each day is an opportunity for us to develop ourselves as individuals. It's also an opportunity to develop our networks and how we relate to one another, also our communities. And today we're speaking about something that relates to all of these areas, creating a safe space. You hear it all the time. It's a buzzword, isn't it? And everyone is actually using it. I'm not sure if people are using it for the right things or they're using it as a scapegoat. And it's a very interesting one here. I was prepping for this show and I saw a beautiful quote and I was like, this should be a great conversation for our show. It was saying, safe spaces are not about luxury. They are about survival, sustainability, and protection against emotional exhaustion and emotional exploitation. We're speaking to Coach T, who's back on the show. It's great to have him here. We haven't had our motivational speaker in a long time. Coach T, let's speak about what Palesa was speaking about just before the break. The fact that you have to self-harvest, you have to self-care, you have to also self-develop. So safe spaces are not created outside of creating the momentum for yourself.
Absolutely. But it's important. One key thing I like saying recently is that adulting is group work.
Yeah.
Right? Because, again, the beauty of having community is that they can see what you don't see. I remember when I was a few years ago diagnosed with clinical depression. It took somebody outside seeing my toxic way of living to say, I know you seem effective, but are you sure that's sustainable? And I was still coaching, still thinking that everything is okay, but there were certain toxic elements about my approach towards my lifestyle and how I was doing things that were harming me as an individual and not sustainable to me as an individual. So it fundamentally, and you mentioned boundaries, right? And it's important when you're thinking about boundaries to not think of them as walls, but rather as bridges towards healthy communication, healthy spaces. And because I had the right bridges and I had people who can keep me accountable, they were able to help me see what I couldn't. And that put me in a position where I could start doing the work even on myself, because I thought I was doing well. I mean, I was coaching people, life was great, giving other people help, but not realizing that my approach was not healthy. And I remember going through a very tough time. And even because of the fact that I'm a coach and the things that I do, I wouldn't even allow my friends to be there for me. And I remember going through a very tough time and one of my friends saying, but the problem with you is that every time you present a problem you have faced, you already tell us how you've sorted it out. So none of us have developed the capacity to even be there for you as a friend. So as much as, yes, there's work that you need to do, but the community you're around that can keep you accountable, that can call you out, but also that can protect you when you become sort of like possible damage and harm to yourself. That's fundamentally important.
Because I guess that's part of the safety that many of us don't understand, holding each other accountable and being transparent in that process. I'm sure it must have been a heated conversation. I know when we talk on radio about these things, it sounds like it was just a quiet and passive conversation. But I'm sure it was heated. I'm sure it was uncomfortable to hear those words. But that's the thing about a safe space. It doesn't always feel safe, but it's where you can have these uncomfortable conversations with the people that are closest to you.
Absolutely. I mean, I came attacking, guns blazing to them to say, you were not there for me when I needed you here. You call yourselves my friends, but I feel like I'm going through this stuff alone. And literally one was like, oh, bis. Oh, wait. But every time you've gone through something like this has been your response. At what point did you allow us a platform to be there for you? You've never told us how you want support. You've never been honest about what you're going through. You've always just given us the cream and told us how you solved it. So that honesty, that authenticity, it gets very ugly at times, but oftentimes we have to break down to rebuild, But what was beautiful about that environment is that I trusted that whatever was discussed was in safe hands. And I trusted that everything that they said came from a place where at the end of the day, their interest was on my well-being, not on anything they can benefit from. And I think that's the biggest challenge with most of us, is that we're in environments where everybody else is looking at benefiting from us and not necessarily our well-being.
Yeah. Coach T, there are relationships that you can avoid if you feel like they don't allow that space to be safe for you. But there are relationships that we can't avoid, maybe our romantic relationships, our family. So if you need those spaces to be safe and you need them to be safe spaces both ways, how do you have that conversation? In fact, what is the conversation that you have with your loved ones so that your space is continuously safe?
So I think definitions are important, right? And defining things from the beginning. So most of us, we have these conversations post-mortem, like something terrible happens, a bad experience happens where your partner made you feel unsafe. And we wait until then to want to now, in the heat of the moment, have a lot of these conversations. Whereas I believe context and definition is important to have at the beginning. When things are still good, ask the other person, when you say support, what does that mean? Is it presence? Is it calling you every 5 minutes? Is it buying you stuff? When you say I love you, what does that mean? When you say you need me, what does that actually mean? So that when I am saying I'm your partner, I'm not using my definition of those words to love and care for you, but I've understood the translation that you have placed towards those words, so that when I say I'm caring for you, it's in a way that is receptive to you as well.
I love that. And we'll wrap it up there. I think that is the best advice that we got throughout this conversation, because the conversations are certainly necessary. And it's a beautiful thing to be held in a safe way, but also to be a safe place for those that you love and those that you spend time with. Coach T, it was a pleasure to chat to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
That is Thabo Mogane, also known as Coach T, speaking to us about how we can create a safe space. He's a motivational speaker and coach. It's 10:30 Central Africa time. Let's bring back Figilele Ngwati with our latest sports news.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
We begin with football news this hour. The World Football's governing body, FIFA Referees Committee, has announced the match officials who will oversee games at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile 2025, which will take place from the 27th of September to the 19th of October. A total of 54 match officials, 18 referees and 36 assistant referees from 22 FIFA member associations are set to take charge of the matches. Chairperson of the FIFA Referees Committee, Pierluigi Collina, says following the success of the FIFA Club World Cup, they look forward to another exciting tournament for which they have once again appointed a very strong team, one liner-up. And Mark Brace has denied he has quit as coach of Cameroon national football team despite the country's football federation, FECAFOOT, confirming his exit on Wednesday. The Belgian said his email was likely hacked and his alleged resignation letter did not come from him. It is the latest twist in a long-running battle between Brace and the Fecafoot since his appointment by the country's sports ministry in April 2024. A letter dated 21st July, supposedly from Brace to the sports ministry and Fecafoot, said he had made the decision to terminate his contract due to the non-payment of his remuneration and that of his staff for more than 60 days. Cameroon Sports Ministry confirmed that Brace remained in his role. Fecafoot hasn't responded to the coach's denial. Springbok women assistant coach Lauren Johannes Haupt says the team is determined to assert dominance in their traditional strength, especially at the set piece when they face the Black Ferns 15 in Cape Town on Saturday. The test at Athlone Stadium marks the first of 2 international friendlies against New Zealand visitors and forms a key part of South Africa's preparations for the 2025 Rugby World Cup in England. While the Boks will look to make their physicality count in the scrums and line-outs, Johannes Haupt says they are also working on broadening their attacking game.
We're seen as a very set-piece dominant team. Yes, we are still going to be a set-piece dominant team. However, adding some more variety and more spice to it in our attacking play is really something special. And I think our head coach brings a wealth of experience in the attacking arena. So to put something extra on the table is always exciting, and to see how well our girls execute that plan is even more exciting.
Having faced the Black Ferns herself as a player at the 2010 Women's Rugby World Cup and later working as their liaison officer during the HSBC Sevens in Cape Town, Johannes Haupt has a unique insight into the mindset of the New Zealanders. She says South Africa's goal will be to take the game to the visitors from the first whistle and apply scoreboard pressure.
We're definitely going into this game hoping to put their skill set under pressure, because in the past New Zealand's always been good at playing the ball, and that is definitely something we've highlighted in their game. They play a good brand of rugby, they play an expansive yet structured game, so we'd like to put them under good pressure.
And finally, with motor racing, Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff says George Russell and Kimi Antonelli are the first choice for next season, appearing to rule out an immediate move for Red Bull's 4-time Formula One champion Max Verstappen. Verstappen is third overall at the midpoint of the 24-round campaign, 69 points behind McLaren's overall leader Oscar Piastri and 61 adrift of the Australian's British teammate Lando Norris. The Dutch driver's dream of a 5th successive title is disappearing, and with a new engine era starting in 2026 and the Mercedes power unit expected to be the pick of the field, there has been talk of Verstappen switching. That speculation was put in even sharper focus after Red Bull sacked long-serving team boss Christian Horner this month, with Laurent Mekies in charge at this weekend's Belgian Grand Prix. Russell's contract expires at the end of the season, although he's also managed by Mercedes, while 18-year-old rookie Antonelli only joined this year and is a big talent for the future. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Philo Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. This Mandela Month, we honor his belief that education is the most powerful weapon to change the world.
Education is one of the most important weapons in a country.
Catch us on DSTV Bouquet 802. Step into the heart of the day on the move with Palesa and Benjamin.
Hey, Nosipo is back to give us the latest business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Benjamin. Good morning. In your business news this hour, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa will attend a showcase of the successful implementation of the latest investment for production of the new BMW X3 plug-in hybrid electric vehicle at the automaker's plant at Rosslyn, Pretoria. The event marks the start of the new vehicle and will highlight the firm's commitment to strengthening South Africa's economic vitality. Today's theme is a BMW Group South Africa leading today, enabling tomorrow. BMW says the event will also showcase the active partnership between industry and government. South Africa's headline consumer inflation is expected to increase in the latter part of 2025, driven by food and fuel prices. In the month of June, inflation was gentle after an increase to 3% from 2.8%. Despite the expected spike in inflation, the Reserve Bank is expected to cut interest rates next by at least 25 basis points. South Africa's Reserve Bank Governor Lesetja Kganyago says the Monetary Policy Committee decisions in this environment are a challenge.
We are not the only one. Even the US Fed, they found that they struggle to assess the impact of the tariffs on the US economy. So in our analysis, we first have to understand the impact of the tariffs on the US economy, what it would mean for output growth and what it would mean for inflation, because then it determines what the monetary policy stance in the US would be and then what the global financial conditions would look like.
The General Industrial Workers Union of South Africa has condemned the deployment of South African Airways SAA to undermine a legitimate strike by FlySafair pilots. In a statement, the union says the SAA's operation of FlySafair routes and accommodation of its passengers constitutes state-subsidized scamming and another fundamental betrayal of the working class by the African National Congress. GIUSA President Mametla Sibei comments.
This intervention, cynically framed as emergency agreement, is a blatant attempt to break legitimate industrial action by over 200 pilots organized by Solidarity and sets a dangerous precedent.
Ghana plans to shorten mining license durations on Monday to direct revenue sharing with local communities in its most sweeping mining law reforms in nearly 2 decades. The planned overhaul reflects a broader trend across West Africa, where governments are rewriting mining codes to capture more value from rising commodity prices. Ghanaian Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Amakofi Bua says the changes, which include scrapping automatic renewable of some licenses, will apply only to future contracts. Renee Lechaga reports.
Under the proposed law changes, prospecting licenses would no longer be held indefinitely, and the maximum term for mining leases would be reduced from 30 years to a shorter period agreed by the government and firms. Companies failing to meet environmental, social, or production obligations would lose the right to automatic license renewal. The minister says the overhaul of the Minerals and Mining Act and mining policy was 85% complete following extensive stakeholder consultations. Renee Lechaga for Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg.
And finally, oil prices have urged higher, supported by renewed optimism surrounding U.S. trade talks, which are expected to ease the strain on the global economy, along with the larger than anticipated drop in U.S. crude stockpiles. Brent crude futures gained 29 U.S. cents to $68.8 a barrel. Meanwhile, U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures climbed 33 cents to $65.58 per barrel. Oil prices saw minimal movement on Wednesday as markets closely followed progress in trade discussions between the U.S. and the European Union. Your financial indicators: $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,528 naira. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 38. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 43, and in Zambia, it's 23 kwacha 03. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 54. Russia is 78 rubles 44. China, it's 86 rupees 37. China, it's 7 yuan 17, and in South Africa, $1 is trading trading at 17 Rand 54. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, the gold is trading at $3,379 and platinum at $1,407 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $68.80 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Nosipho Soma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mokoenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Call us on +27 63 406 9126. And contribute to the conversation.
SABC Sport brings you Chasing the Sun, a powerful 5-part documentary series about the Springboks, telling the rousing tale of their path to redemption and ultimate World Cup glory in 2019. Starting on the 13th of July at 7:30 p.m. on SABC2, tune in every Sunday for the highs, the heartache, and the heroics that made rugby history. Stream each chapter on SABC Plus, anytime, anywhere, no subscription needed. Don't miss Chasing the Sun this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC2. Be there when history shines.
On the Move, weekdays, 9 a.m. to midday.
Only on Channel Africa. #On the Move.
Salibella, che ne che satsibi, hormona che le baleng landua, le sholong fela, che le ruma la moya, ufumana poloso, che hula tela la hailenswe, le ring che natsela, le nete le bupilo, mi fokolo nyaka umpamatla, mohawa. Lena
One of my ultimate favorites. This is Maleki Tlofi.
Yeah, you should hear Pali singing in studio during that one.
It's my favorite thing to do, to annoy Benjamin and sing.
No, your
in the
voice is not too
studio.
bad, Pali.
Well, we also have a really special moment that we have this morning here
Yes.
on The Move. One of our faves, in fact, the most integral part of this team. Yes, I know it's you there listening to the show, but the most integral part of the On The Move team inside the studio is not just myself and Benjamin, but Selena, our producer. I mean, every now and then you hear us speak about Selena. She's our producer, and she puts together these great shows that we always bring to you. And today is Selena's
And she doesn't like being on
birthday.
air, but
She
we
hates
have to
being on
put
air.
her on air.
She hates being on air. But I mean, it's a special day, and today's Selena's birthday. So we decided to give her a ring. It is a little bit of a surprise, and I'm sure she hates it. But still, we have to do it. Selena, happy birthday!
Hi, baby. Let me tell you how, because I got this call and they're like, hi, Selena, please hold on. I knew it was an office number. But and then when I heard you go, I'm like, the team, hi, guys.
Hey, Selena.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Selena. Happy birthday to you.
This means so much. This means a lot. Thank you so much.
What are you getting up to, girl?
So I'm getting ready. I'm going out with my girls. I'm out with you guys today, as I told you.
Yeah.
So I know that, you know, with the pleasantries, this means a lot, by the way, guys. So I'm getting ready. I'm going to have a brunch and lunch. Actually, it's going to extend into lunch with my friends. And my family is waiting for me at home to celebrate somewhere in the evening. So it's going to be a day.
I like when you say the brunch is going to extend to a lunch. I wonder.
It might extend to a dinner.
Are you sure it's not going to extend into a dinner?
You know how it goes, babe.
Well, we love you. We love you so much. We enjoy working with you. You are literally, you know, the lifeblood of this team. And we want to say we love you and happy birthday. Have yourself a fantastic day.
Thank you so much, guys. Really, really, really appreciate it.
Well, that is Selena, our producer. It's probably going to be the only time you'll hear her on air because she hates being on air.
Yeah.
But we have to do something special. Send us Selena's birthday wishes if you are part of the On The Move team, as of course you are, on +27 6340 69126. It's 10:50 Central Africa time.
Africa at Play with Neto and ETO Chairman.
The Confederation of African Athletics, CAA President Mr. Hamad Kalkaba Malboum, talk to us about the state of athletics in Africa as it stands, and what picture are you looking at 5 years later?
Yeah, athletics in Africa is strong. We are able to organize our major events in time. Like this year, we will have the under-20 and under-18 African Championship in Nigeria. Next year, we will have the senior in Ghana. And 2027, we will go back to Algeria to organize the under-18 and under-20. And then 2028, we will have the senior championship in Gaborone in Botswana. Well, by this program, we can increase our performance. And at the same time, we are considering the fact that within the British Federation, they are identifying young talent every year within the national program, within the scholarship championship. And so the athletics in Africa is in good standard.
Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time. Benjamin Moshatama and Palesa on the move.
What's up? This is KL, Mr. K. Thomas Kanagard, and right now you're listening to Channel Africa.
Channel Africa.
the African perspective.
Mañana karikoti mo marame. You been the one, my love. Diamond walking molly. Chinelli ne wash the coli. Onge vegale simplicity. Bimbo like el poli. Your ex-man looking at me funny and I cause it to me. Mong I'm telling what you must sing to be. I'm different thing funny boo. As a song, marang nandaba. I can put you on. Wanna go nyala, tangle in the mouth, I'm on just my London. Speaking up a share, see him at London. Baby, want me. Was little no more, no, my kid, one next week. Better tell him it's more than love, this land and see. No lie, Bella super. Bigger when I wait, one man never look back. I shall it pass, you told me, cause you know I want you. You touch me, baby. Ebasi hlukanisa uthando lugcwele ngicela ubapheke izitele ozigcwele ungavumi izingene athi ngikusele athi ngikusele athi ngikusele uthando lakho ke mina ngawe ngigcwele ngiyakutshela sange bangifaka umoya ngawe ngayifela mangithi ngiyaphuma ngiyofuna amasenta uze wena nomndeni wami nibedese dala ngikufuna ngayiphela manje usungo wami inhliziyo ifudumele phela amaphutha ngalingasese njalo manginawe ngizizwa ngiphelele into uthanda mina phela kungashintshi yangisanganisa fana nawe angekaphinda bekhona kulelizwe kukhona okuthize ngathi ngikuhlile ungenza ngibize into uthanda mina phela kungashintshi yangisanganisa singanqoba nepisi ngayihlanganisa kukhona okuthize ngathi ngikuhlile ungenza ngiphile ngithatha ungibeke ebasi hlukanisa uthando lugcwele ngicela ubapheke izitele ozigcwele ungavumi izingene athi ngikusele athi ngikusele athi ngikusele uthando lakho lumenza ngishelele angicabanga wena njalo sengaba novalo oh baby lalela isikhalo awusathe I know outside all I mean so cool I jalo na mi jalo what I should get I feel incomplete I'm trying to fall like take the lead I'm trying my best can't you see I got you anything no tell me say I think say Nana ilungithatha ungibeke ebasi hlukanisa uthando lugcwele ngicela ubapheke izitele ozigcwele ungavumi izingene athi ngikusele athi ngikusele athi ngikusele uthando lakho lumenza ngishelele
The rhythm of Africa, the pulse of the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective.
I go kill you with enjoyment, hey, I go kill you with sugar daddy. Shaky for that, yeah. Sing for you like Doremi, give you loving Bokobi, oh baby, never burn away. go kill you with enjoyment, 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 enjoyment. Murder, it's a murder. If you touch my baby, then it's a murder. Murder, I will murder. If you touch my baby, then it's a murder. Oh, they open up yo, Wakuma Suadio, and Ukwana mi po mi di enti ode. They open up yo, when they feel back yo, yeah, all day I no go play with your love. Oh, darling, you give me joy, joy, joy. Nobody did like you, my lover. You give me joy, joy, joy. I go kill you with enjoyment, 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 enjoyment. Hey, I go kill you with enjoyment, 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 enjoyment. Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Hey, have you ever seen that person at a party where you're dancing the night away and they're just looking at you curiously and you're like, I'm going to kill you with enjoyment. I'm going to kill you on having a good
Whether
time.
you like it or not.
That's Kitty with enjoyment. And before that, you heard KO featuring Young Stana and Blackie with Sete. It's 58 minutes past 10 o'clock Central African time, giving you the best of African continent right here at the SABC headquarters. You're at the lovely third floor. We've got the best view here at the SABC. Remember, you are listening to us on the SABC Plus app. I'm sure you tuned in there. And if not, you are staying behind when it comes to where the media is right now, because that app is fantastic. You can carry it on your phone anywhere you go, or you can just listen to us on your desktop as well on www.sabcplus.com. So, yeah, you have no excuse to say, I don't know how to find Channel Africa. What is Channel Africa? We are everywhere. In fact, even on your social media, you can find us on all platforms. And you're like, what's the best way to do it? Just search for Channel Africa 1. That's the handle that we usually use on all our platforms, and you'll easily access Channel Africa there. At Channel Africa 1 is how you get access to us here on Channel Africa on our social media. We're on TikTok, we're on X, we're on Thread, we are on Instagram, we're also on YouTube, and also on Facebook. Well, we're moving into our final hour, and it's been a wonderful day. It is our producer's birthday today. She's not with us, but we're keeping things going. We just sang happy birthday to Selina Ntobong, a wonderful lady who makes sure that our
Selina Moeng.
Oh, Moeng. I keep forgetting.
Because she's a missus
she's
now.
a married lady
Yes.
now. I know her from back in the day. So, yeah, Selina Moeng. And it is fantastic that she's celebrating and she's with her friends right now, getting ready in the morning. But she'll be back with us soon enough. Well, we're moving into the final hour. 1100 hours is just around the corner. We'll be looking at internet and children. You know, children need to navigate the internet. You can't run away from it as a mother. You can't run away from it as a father. Even as a guardian, you can say, you know what, I'm trying my best to make sure that these kids are living to the fullest. But they are on the internet, whether you like it or not. It's either they're doing it behind your back or they're doing it in front of you. I think it's better that they do it in front of you and you help them navigate the internet. We'll speak a little bit about how you do that a little bit later on the show. Right now, let's find out what we have in our news. Joalane joins us once again.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Benjamin. Top stories: Sawa efforts to end fighting in the DRC continue and hope for a ceasefire in Gaza. Good morning. Moves to end fighting in eastern Congo that are essential to U.S. President Donald Trump's plans for a mining bonanza in the region are meant to get underway this weekend. However, the future of a small rebel group has emerged as one of the major obstacles. Tabiso Lehoko has more.
A U.S.-brokered peace agreement signed last month by the Congolese and Rwandan foreign ministers was designed to halt violence that escalated this year with a lightning advance in the Democratic Republic of Congo by M23 rebels. Rwanda denies the allegations from the UN and Western governments that it is fighting alongside the M23 rebels to gain access to Congo's minerals. Rwanda says its troops are there to tackle what it describes as an existential threat from thousands of Rwandan Hutu rebels known as the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda.
Protests are set to continue tomorrow in Togo's capital Lome. Tensions are rising after a new constitution has allowed longtime head of state Faure Gnassingbe to shift for a new role as Prime Minister and escape the constraint of presidential term limits. The move has triggered anger on the streets. At least 5 demonstrators have died while confronting official security forces in recent weeks. The Foundation for Human Rights in South Africa has filed a court application that seeks to oppose former President Thabo Mbeki and former Justice Minister Bridget Mabandla's application to intervene in a constitutional damage case. The case involves families of victims who were killed or went missing during the liberation struggle. The families are requesting the court to declare that their rights have been violated, citing a lack of progress in prosecutions since the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Mbeki and Mabandla are seeking leave to intervene on the basis that they have a direct and substantial interest in the proceedings as they are accused of political interference. Zahid Kimi is the executive director of the foundation.
We think President Mbeki and Ms. Mabandla have many other options if they feel their reputations are being damaged. They have resources, and they can take whatever other legal action they wish to take. There's no need for them to intervene in our case against the government. They are not a party to the case. They're not being accused directly of anything. We recognize that those issues will be ventilated elsewhere.
5 men accused of the murder of South African rapper Keenan aka Forbes and his friend celebrity chef Tebello Tibbs Motswane will today be back in the High Court in Durban for a pre-trial hearing. Forbes and Motswane were gunned down outside a restaurant in a popular Durban nightclub in 2023. The alleged mastermind Mziwethemba Gwabini and co-accused Lindokuhle Mkhwanazi, Lindani Ndimande, Siyanda Mieza and Lindokuhle Ndimande were arrested about a year later. They are facing charges including murder, conspiracy to commit murder and money laundering. A pre-trial hearing normally paves the way for the setting of a trial date. Talks ended progressing towards a ceasefire in Gaza are expected to take place between U.S. and Israeli officials in Italy later. They are being held as the UN says starvation is spreading across the territory. The BBC's Yolandi Naum has the details.
The timing is critical, with the UN warning that Gazans are suffering from man-made mass starvation. Israel continues to accuse Hamas of stealing aid, blaming it for food shortages. It wants distribution to continue via the controversial American group, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. But Hamas wants the UN to oversee a surge in aid, as do international humanitarian agencies. Other points blocking a ceasefire deal remain the extent to which Israeli troops would withdraw from Gaza and whether a proposed 60-day truce will lead to a full end to the war.
Recapping the top story, the Sawa moves to end fighting in eastern Congo that are essential to U.S. President Donald Trump's plans for a mining bonanza in the region are meant to get underway this weekend. However, the future of a small rebel group has emerged as one of the major obstacles. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo-Webe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It's 6 minutes past 11 o'clock Central African time. Thank you to Joalane for holding things down for us. We'll see her tomorrow morning. But we haven't wrapped up with our morning news just yet. We still have our latest sports still coming up from Figile Lingwati at 11:30 Central African time. Thereafter, we'll have No C Po Zuma to come in to give us our latest business news. We're entering into our parenting feature today, and navigating the internet and children is a difficult one, and the truth is you can't keep away children from the internet. They're going to access it one way or another way, if not in your presence, in your absence. And it's better that you have them there with you and you teach them how to interact with the internet in a responsible way. Why it's important for you to do that as a parent, because if you don't, someone else will, and you don't want that situation to happen to you. So we'll be unpacking that from a real professional perspective, speaking to two guests who are going to help us from a professional viewpoint on that one. We'll be joined by Lucy Jameson, senior researcher at the Children's Institute, and Dr. Heidi Mattison, who is a neuroethics researcher at the University of Cape Town's Department of Medicine.
Yeah, we keep things moving right here. I mean, it's really important to have conversations about children and the internet, because as soon as they're born now, they're already interacting with technology. They're already interacting with the internet as well. I mean, some of the children's favorite musics and shows, even the toddlers, is on the internet.
Like
so
on YouTube. YouTube is the space to be. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, as soon as children are born now, before they even turn 1, they know how to turn on a phone, and they know how to press all the buttons, and they know even how to open YouTube and watch the videos themselves. So why wouldn't we have conversations about children and the internet? Stay with us for this hour of the show. Don't forget that we want to continue having the conversations of the day with you. Find us at Channel Africa 1. We are also streaming live on those platforms. We're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. And that's where you get to see what we're up to here in our studios. So go over there. Let us know what you're up to. Let us know where you're tuned in from. And of course, engage in the conversations of the day. We're always excited to hang out with you, and we're always excited to chat to you. Find us as well on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, and of course you can also find our podcast. So even as we wrap up the week, you'll still be able to interact with the show and listen to the shows that you might have missed, and some of the highlight conversations that we've had this week and many other weeks before. So let's go into the third hour of On the Move and have the conversations that matter.
In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Tulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Tulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Palesa and Benjamin fuel your day with fresh African perspective on Channel Africa.
Military touch.
You don't leave me. body. You look like my wife from this angle. Chow no ita iwe baby. And I need wherever you are, girl, I want go. Ruvarangu, Dali wangu, Ruvarangu, Dali wangu. Girl, I love you. Girl, I need you always. Everything for you, eh. She fall on you, eh. I love the way you look at me, baby. And you call me Teddy. You shine like a light from this angle. Shall know it, I will, baby. And I win it. You shine like a light from this angle. Let me love you, let me give you my all. Yeah, you shine like a light from this angle. Pauno bamba, pauno cigar, tell me one. Yeah, you shine like a light from this angle. Liggy, 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 boom, magalio. Liggy, 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 boom, magalio. Girl, I need you always. Liggy, 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 ah, magalio. Ino singo samusoro, ino panika mikono. Liggy, 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 boom, magalio. Everything for you, eh. Liggy, 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 boom, magalio. My love will never die, oh. Liggy, 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 boom, magalio. Oh, I'm gonna see you why, oh. Liggy, 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 boom, magalio. You don't leave me, don't let me go. Liggy, 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 boom, magalio. No, leave me, no.
This is a great collaboration with Ja Priza and Davido. It's titled My Lily. We're speaking about the internet and children. And when we think about children these days, you have to immediately associate that conversation with the internet. I mean, toddlers as young as 1, 2 already know how to engage with devices, a tablet, a TV screen, or even a phone. They even have their favorite songs on YouTube where they get to engage with educational content that their family wants them to know, and they enjoy it and they even call out for it. So it's a must for children to engage with the internet now, and we can't keep pretending like there are no benefits for children on the internet. Yes, there are many harmful things on the net, but how do we train children to navigate the minefield of the World Wide Web? With growing concerns about social media's impact on mental health, online safety, and digital literacy, it's essential to find ways to protect your child while also promoting healthy online habits. We're discussing this in today's hour as we're exploring practical tips and insights on how to help kids navigate the internet safely while respecting their rights and promoting critical thinking skills. We're joined on the line by Dr. Heidi Madison, who is a neuroethics researcher at the University of Cape Town's Department of Medicine. We'll also be joined a little bit later on by Lucy Jameson, senior researcher at the Children's Institute as well. Dr. Madison, thank you so much for your time. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. I hope you are well as well. You know, I know as parents, we are scared. We are scared because even as adults, we're also continuously navigating a very strange world of the internet. And if adults can get scammed and children who don't have, the emotional intelligence as yet to understand the things of the world, we're very afraid of their life online.
Absolutely. And I think it's a legit research is coming out about the potential and real effects of the dangers online that children and, as you say, adults are exposed to. So it's a really important conversation, and because it's a difficult conversation, we often shy away from it. But I think it's essential that we talk about it so that we can upskill ourselves and our children in coping with the dangers, as well as the benefiting from the advantages, as you pointed out.
Mm-hmm. There are three sides of the scale when it comes to parents, guardians, and their children on the internet. And there's one side of the scale that says, yes, it's necessary for children to be on the internet. In fact, sometimes it saves me from all the time that I have to spend watching them when they're watching their favorite educational content. So I'm saying yes to the child and the internet. There are parents who are saying, no, I'm not giving my son or my daughter a phone. I'm not giving my child a tablet. I'm not having them engage with YouTube videos. I'm giving them books. books and giving them other educational ways. So that's a no for the internet. But there's an in-between that is necessary in this conversation. An in-between where there is engagement, but in a controlled and safe environment. Let's speak about that in-between.
Absolutely. And I'm really firmly in the middle there. I mean, there are authors like Jonathan Haidt, who wrote The Anxious Generation, who argues for a total ban on smartphones for children and encourages them to not use these kinds of equipment. And as you say, there are those who legitimately either can't or don't have the time or the expertise to help their children through certain things. And so the internet is a valuable resource. But for people like me, and it sounds like you, who are firmly in the middle, I like to think of it in the way that it's really important for children to play outside, but we don't let them run on freeways without, observing their behavior. And similarly, we don't not let them play outside at all. So we let them play outside when the conditions are appropriate, when there's a kind of watchful adult to keep an eye on them. And it's the same with allowing children to access the internet and to use social media. I think the important thing is to ensure that we do it in a way that is safe, a way that is critical, and a way that is taking into consideration the children's needs. So I think often the people on the extremes are thinking about it from the adult's perspective. Either they don't have the time, so children must be allowed on the internet, or they think about the worries, so children mustn't be allowed on the internet. But what about the children themselves, and what about their needs?
Yeah.
It must be to be the only child who doesn't have a smartphone, or the only child who isn't allowed to watch YouTube videos. But at the same time, we need to ensure that our children know that what they're watching isn't real a lot of the time, and they can't be exposed to photoshopped images and fancy holidays of people and influencers and TikTokers without being sensitized to the fact that this is not always real, and they can't compare themselves to what they're seeing online.
Absolutely. Let's bring in senior researcher at the Children's Institute, Lucy Jameson, into this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us, Lucy. Let's speak about that. You know, the fact that fear is really how we interact with the internet and our children as the adults and the guardians in their life, instead of being open-minded about the benefits of the internet and, of course, really the inevitable nature of their interaction with the online world. Why do you think we're leading from a place of fear as guardians and parents?
I think that's what we call a form of classic projection. I think parents are often unaware, and they are themselves frightened, and they're passing that fear on. And, it's not productive. As Heidi has said, we need to have open and honest dialogues with children about the kind of materials that they may be exposed to, if we want them to be able to develop the critical thinking and sense for themselves, because often, children, we do need to leave them to navigate the internet. They are going to do it whether, parents are there or not. And what we've got to develop is that sense of responsibility within the child. And fear doesn't help. What fear does is that it brings down barriers. If we threaten children, then they're less likely to tell us what they're actually doing. Children are very adept often at using these different technologies. So, if children are doing things that they think they're going to get into trouble for, they're going to delete their browsing history. So it's really critical to cultivate a positive dialogue between, yourself and your children.
That is so true. And we'll speak a little bit more about how to start the dialogue and how to introduce children to the world of the internet, and of course create a safety net for them to engage, but engage safely, but also learn and be a part of the revolution that they are a part of, which is the AI and technology revolution. So not leaving them behind simply because we are led by the fear of the internet. It's 11:22 Central Africa time. We'll continue speaking to Lucy Jameson and Dr. Heidi Matteson after the break about how to engage with our children and explore these tips and insights on how to help our children and navigate the internet safely.
The Morning Switch Weekend with the Shy Guy.
Mwadzuka bwanji nonse zukani the Shy Guy Morning Switch.
Have you ever listened to a song and then it gives you goosebumps? Cause it takes you way back in the 80s. My goodness. Yay. Woo. Hey baby. You hear Yvonne Chaga Chaga there. I wanna talk to the DJ. And then the DJ goes like, hey baby, I've got you on the other side. Huh? There were no WhatsApps then, right? There were no sliding in the TMs at the time. Oh man.
Your weekend mornings are activated with the Shy Guy on the Morning Switch.
Hey man, we are speaking about young children, our children on the internet. How do we help them navigate that space? We've got some incredible guests helping us on this one. We've got on the line Lucy Jameson, senior researcher at the Children's Institute, and Dr. Heidi Matteson, who is a neuroethics researcher at the University of Cape Town's Department of Medicine. Let me start this part of the conversation with you, Lucy, before we go back to Dr. Heidi. The internet is right there in our faces, and what happens most of the time, we focus on the harmful elements without considering the positive, truths to how children need the internet in just contemporary life and how they use it anyway, whether we allow them or not. Let's talk a little bit about the positive aspects of the internet. What access do kids have in a positive light there? Because I think sometimes we are so threatened by the dark stuff.
So, I mean, these days, there is pretty much everything available online. So we have educational programs, we have entertainment, you have games, there are spaces where people can connect, and as with in the real world, the virtual world now offers a whole plethora of different services. So, for example, if your child is experiencing anxiety or depression, there are apps and services online that you can use. If you are experiencing any kind of violence or bullying, whether it's online or in the real world, there are services and again applications that children can use and adolescents can use. So really, I mean, it's not one thing. If you are denying your child access, it's as if you were, not allowing them outside of the front door, because literally there are, everything from games that are promoting education, simple enjoyment that are good for, developing their skills, just for critical thinking. There's music. It's positive. We all, listen to the radio these days. I rarely, yes, in my car, but if I'm at home or at work, I'm going to listen to the radio through the internet. So it's, it's a whole array of positive experiences, services, connections, knowledge, information that is available online.
Dr. Heidi, so how do we navigate that space? Because there's a lot of things to mine in the internet. How do you do that as a parent to make sure that your child is navigating that very tricky environment in a positive sense?
So I think moderation is the key. And I think, as Lucy pointed out, having open and honest conversations with our children. So firstly, I'm a big believer in limiting screen time. I don't think children should be online 24 hours a day. They're sleeping less, they're staying up too late, they're tired when they go to school. So moderation in terms of the actual time they spend online, and then the content that they engage with. I mean, Lucy's pointed out so many really important aspects of the internet and social media. But also sensitizing them to the real dangers out there. Just like I said before, we don't let our children go out without telling them about stranger danger or other things, and we need to do the same online. And as a philosopher, Lucy's mentioned critical thinking. I think critical thinking is absolutely critical at this point, is to teach our children to question what they're seeing, to be critical in the sense of asking, why is this person saying that? What are they trying to get from me? Is it too good to be true? Is this manipulation? And so on and so forth. And I think we can do that. There are brilliant programs on the internet and off the internet about how we can teach our children critical thinking. And I think that's the key skill they need to be able to navigate the internet and social media.
The tricky part, let me ask you a very pop culture question as a philosopher, to say, it's a great thing to teach your kids, critical thinking, but you're not quite sure when you walk away and that pop-up comes, if they will stick to that lesson that you've taught them while you were there, Doctor. What's your take on that?
So yeah, there's not certainty. And I think this goes back to what Lucy was saying about the fear that adults are projecting, is that we know the dangers out there, and our responses have developed a long time ago, while our children's have still got a long time until they're fully developed. So we can't have guarantees that it's going to be 100% okay 100% of the time. But I think as parents, we also need to take responsibility and recognize that parenting is always about exposing children to new things. The first time you allow your child to eat with a knife, there's a possibility they could cut themselves or cut you or something else. But we try very hard to teach them beforehand by using, plastic knives and things like that. So it's all new. And I think that is the insecurity. We can't have guarantees. But I think if we take seriously our responsibility as parents to talk to our children, them what they're looking at, to make it an environment where we, without projecting our own fears, we tell them that, if something like X or Y happens on the internet, they should be able to have an open and honest conversation with us to tell them what they've seen or what someone said or what people are asking them to do. And I think that honesty is really important, not just for children navigating the internet, but for good parental, guardian and children relationships.
Well, we have to wrap it up. We've run out of time, and it kind of feels like we've just started talking about this. But Lucy, just your final sentiment, just in a minute. We've run out of time. What's your takeaway in terms of, us giving that freedom of the kids on the internet without also taking away our responsibilities?
So I think the one thing that we haven't really touched on, but that's absolutely vital, is that we can't now be over-reliant on the internet, iPads, etc. It's really important that we give children real experiences. So when children are young, instead of giving them the iPad or the cell phone, we read a book with them. When they're older, we are making sure that they're having quality time with family, that they're going to movies, playing with friends, spending time outdoors, so that we need to invest in those alternatives so that they have other ways of getting the same kind of stimulation and a healthy experience in the world.
I wish we could carry on this one, but I think your article is something that I can cite as we wrap up this conversation. They've got a wonderful article on the website called The Conversation. So go to theconversation.com and look for a wonderful article Lucy Jameson and Heidi Mattison were involved in, titled Children and Internet Helping Kids Navigate This Modern Minefield. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Heidi, for giving us your time.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
And in our sports update, we begin with rugby news. 3 members of the Victoria's junior Springbok squad have been invited to spend 2 weeks with the Springboks during their conditioning camp in Johannesburg, starting on Sunday. Scrum half Hashim Peed, arguably the player of the tournament in Italy, wing Cheswin Juste and flank Batobele Hlegani will join the Springboks to familiarize themselves with the team's culture. Meanwhile, coach Rassie Erasmus named a 37-player squad for the first 2 test matches of the Rugby Championship against Australia. 5 players who recently made their test debuts have been retained. They are utility back Ethan Hooker, props Asenat Ntabaganye, and Bone Venter, Hooker, Manas van der Merwe, and utility forward Kobas Vise. A handful of players in turn have been released to their respective franchises, while others were placed on standby in case of injury. The Springboks' first match against Australia is on the 16th of August in Johannesburg. Having faced the Black Ferns herself as a player at the 2010 Women's Rugby World Cup and later working as their liaison officer during the HSBC Sevens in Cape Town, Johannes Haupt has a unique insight into the mindset of the New Zealanders. She says South Africa's goal will be to take the game to the visitors from the first whistle and apply scoreboard pressure.
We're definitely going into this game hoping to put their skill set under pressure, because in the past New Zealand's always been good at playing the ball, and that is definitely something we've highlighted in their game. They play a good brand of rugby, they play an expansive yet structured game, so we'd like to put them under good pressure.
Springbok women assistant coach Lauren Haupt says the team is determined to assert dominance in their traditional strength, especially at the set piece when they face the Black Ferns 15 in Cape Town on Saturday. The test at Athlone Stadium marks the first of 2 international friendlies against the New Zealand visitors and forms a key part of South Africa's preparations for the 2025 Rugby World Cup in England.
We're seen as a very set-piece dominant team. Yes, we are still going to be a set-piece dominant team. However, adding some more variety and more spice to it in our attacking play is really something special. And I think our head coach brings a wealth of experience in the attacking arena. So to put something extra on the table is always exciting. And to see how well our girls execute that plan is even more exciting.
On to football news. World Football's governing body, FIFA Referees Committee, has announced the match officials who will oversee games at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup Chile 2025, which will take place from the 27th of September to the 19th of October. A total of 54 match officials, 18 referees, and 36 assistant referees from 22 FIFA member associations are set to take charge of the matches. Chairperson of the FIFA Referees Committee, Pierluigi Collina, says following the success of the FIFA Club World Cup, they look forward to another exciting tournament for which they have once again appointed a very strong team, one line-up. And finally, Mark Brace has denied he has quit as coach of Cameroon national football team despite the country's football federation, FECAFOOT, confirming his exit on Wednesday. The Belgian said his email was likely hacked and his alleged resignation letter did not come from him. It is the latest twist in a long-running battle between Brace and the FECAFOOT since his appointment by the country's sports ministry in April 2024. A letter dated 21st July, supposedly from Brace to the sports ministry and FECAFOOT, said he had made the decision to terminate his contract due to the non-payment of his remuneration and that of his staff for more than 60 days. Cameroon Sports Ministry confirmed that Brace remained in his role. FECAFOOT has not responded to the coach's denial. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Fikile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Step into the heart of the day on the move with Palesa and Benjamin.
Let's keep things moving with our latest business news. Nosipho Zuma is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Palesa. Good morning. In your business news, the SAWA, international low-cost airline Palesa has committed to resolving its pilot strike. Wage talks between the airline and South Africa's trade union, Solidarity, which is representing the airline's pilots, will now resume at the Commission for Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration in the Gauteng province tomorrow. The two parties met at the union's offices in Johannesburg yesterday. Around 200 pilots are on strike. They are demanding a 10.5% salary increase, but the airline is offering 5.7%. The strike has led to the cancellation of several flights, leaving passengers stranded. The airline's chief marketing officer, Kirby Gordon.
The reality is that no one ever seeks to be in this situation, and it stands to reason that the company takes the demands of the union very seriously in terms of being unviable in order to arrive ourselves at this situation. If the demands had been reasonable, we obviously would have foregone it in the first place. So we need to stand firm in terms of balancing the requirements or the demands and the interests of the pilots with the long-term sustainability of the company and the jobs of the 1,700 other people that we employ. So yes, we approach the negotiation table with an open mind. Of course we do. We always negotiate in good faith. These are ultimately our team members that we look to have part of, and we do need to find middle ground. We're very open to that, but there needs to be some movement on those sorts of numbers.
South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa will attend a showcase of the successful implementation of the latest investment for production of the new BMW X3 plug-in hybrid electric vehicle at the automaker's plant at Rosslyn, Pretoria. The event marks the start of the new vehicle and will highlight the firm's commitment to strengthening South Africa's economic vitality. Today's theme is BMW Group South Africa, leading today, enabling tomorrow. BMW says the event will also showcase the active partnership between industry and government. Angola's oil-backed loans owed to China will drop to $7.58 billion by year-end as the government moves to reduce its exposure to resource-backed financing. Director of Debt Management Unit in the Finance Ministry says all debt collateralized by oil revenues will concentrate in agreement with China. Ghana plans to shorten mining license durations and mandate direct revenue sharing with local communities in its most sweeping mining law reforms in nearly 2 decades. The planned overhaul reflects a broader trend across West Africa where governments are rewriting mining codes to capture more value from rising commodity prices. Ghanaian Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Amakofi-Bua says the changes, which include scrapping automatic renewal of some licenses, will apply only to future contracts. Renee Lechaga reports.
Under the proposed law changes, prospecting licenses would no longer be held indefinitely, and the maximum term for mining leases would be reduced from 30 years to a shorter period agreed by the government and firms. Companies failing to meet environmental, social, or production obligations would lose the right to automatic license renewal. The minister says the overhaul of the Minerals and Mining Act and mining policy was 85% complete following extensive stakeholder consultations. Renee Lechaga for Channel Africa Business in Johannesburg.
And finally, Australia has lifted its biosecurity restrictions on beef imports from the United States. Its strict controls on beef had angered President Trump, who had threatened 200% tariffs on Australian pharmaceuticals. The BBC's Phil Mercer has the details.
The ban on beef was one of the Trump administration's main grievances with Australia. The restrictions were mentioned by the White House when it imposed tariffs on Australia in April. The government in Canberra says a rigorous scientific review, not political pressure, is behind its decision to allow US beef imports to resume after more than 20 years.
Your financial indicators: $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,528 naira, and Botswana is 13.38. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 43, and in Zambia it's 23 kwacha 03. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 54. Russia is 78 rubles 44. India is 86 rupees 37. China at 7 yuan 17, and in South Africa $1 is trading at 17 rand 54. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,379 and platinum at $1,407 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $68.80 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Nosipho Zuma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Thulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Thulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
9 to 12 midday, Central African Time.
On the Move with Palesa and Benjamin Moshatama.
SABC Sport brings you Chasing the Sun, a powerful 5-part documentary series about the Springboks, telling the rousing tale of their path to redemption and ultimate World Cup glory in 2019. Starting 13 July at 7:30 p.m. on SABC2, tune in every Sunday for the highs, the heartache, and the heroics that made rugby history. Stream each chapter on SABC Plus anytime, anywhere. No subscription needed. Don't miss Chasing the Sun this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC2. Be there when history shines.
Hashtag On The Move and connect with us.
Above you, so many lies, but girl, you're the truth. And I'm so proud to call you my boo. I stick with you just like a tattoo. Forbidden love like it's taboo. Don't care what anybody might do. We put our haters in a review. My eyes are seen her. So many shit on the streets, and I've been through places you've never been. I know be small picking, I don't chop breakfast, lunch, and chop dinner. My heart is cold like the winter, but you want me up, Angelina. So I give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Girl, you like my work, and it's giving love. You can have it all. I put nothing above you. You know I put nothing above you. So many love, but girl, you're the truth. Girl, you're the truth. And I'm so proud to call you my boo. Stand by you. I will stand by you. I've been through places you've never been. I know be some more picking. I don't chop breakfast, lunch, and chop dinner. My heart is cold like the winter, but you want me up, Angelina. So I give unto Caesar what is Caesar.
We're speaking about community involvement in addressing personal crises, and we're finding out the question: have you ever witnessed someone in distress and said nothing, or you were too scared or nonchalant to intervene? So that's the conversation we're having in the first hour of today's show.
Wow. I mean, it's an interesting one, and sadly, especially gender-based violence.
Yeah.
Everybody sees it, everybody hears it, and for some reason, it's a difficult thing for people to intervene. I'm fascinated to hear about that conversation.
Is it the that I don't give? Is it the man that I don't?
Africa is a story, a living, breathing, ever-evolving masterpiece. And for over 5 decades now, one voice has told it like no other. Channel Africa. More than just a broadcaster, Channel Africa is the pulse of the continent, African-led, African-run, and deeply rooted in its heritage. It's the only international station that speaks to Africa in its own voices: English, Kiswahili, Chinyanja, French, and Portuguese. The languages that unite 1 billion people. We have been there through every shift, every milestone, and every triumph. Not just reporting history, but shaping the conversations that define Africa's future. For brands, media planning, and advertisers, Channel Africa is more than just a platform. It's an opportunity. With 25 compelling shows covering current affairs, sports, business, music, and lifestyle, we deliver an engaging Pan-African audience ready to connect, invest, and act. Multi-award winning, internationally recognized, digitally accessible across the globe. When Africa speaks, the world listens, and Channel Africa makes sure of it. For business, for culture, for Africa, partner with Channel Africa, because Africa's voice is the future. Africa has a voice, and that voice is Channel Africa. It keeps you in motion, speaking, singing, questioning, rising. Wake up with Rise and Shine 6 till 9. Peter and Asanda as they bring you breaking news, sharp analysis, and the voices that shape the day. At mid-morning, we get on the move with Palesa and Benjamin, digging into the African lifestyle, people, and the things that make Africa smile. 12 till 1, Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, getting in-depth, powerful stories.
Back home, and I think it's wrong, but she says, is it right? I'm sure it is for her. And that is Tyler, who has been an international phenomenon from South Africa. Like a new version of, who's that actress who did very, very well in the US? The white lady, man. She did a movie, Charlize Theron. Remember Monster?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's 11:50 Central African time. Let's take a break. We'll be back.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Hawa wa Afrika Kusini wenye asili ya kizungu ambao wamepewa ukimbizi huko nchini Marekani. Je, nini chanzo cha wao kuomba ukimbizi nchini Marekani?
Wenyewe hawajaomba ukimbizi. Kuna shirika fulani inaitwa AfriForum, shirika mbili za wazungu ambao wanatetea haki ya wazungu hapa, AfriForum na Solidarity. Hao walienda Marekani kufanya kampeni kusema kwamba wazungu wananyanyaswa hapa Afrika Kusini, na walivyofanya hiyo kampeni, serikali iweze kuwafuatilia kujua nini ambacho mnasema kwamba mnanyanyaswa.
Kuna namna ya wao kwamba wamepoteza uraia wa Afrika Kusini, na je, endapo Trump akamaliza muda wake madarakani, uhalali wao wa kuishi nchini Marekani ukoje?
Itakuwa vigumu, kifupi itakuwa vigumu wenyewe kupoteza uraia wao.
Darubini ya Afrika 11 kamili hadi 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Download the SABC app and take Channel Africa with you everywhere you go.
DJ Spin On.
I'm on my way to you. The time is on the loose. I will always fight for truth. If I had the chance to choose,
here we go.
like every other superhero, my weakness is love. I don't do it for the medals, cause no man without us. He stands for the people. So I be on my way whenever you think you need to.
1, 2, 3.
I'll be.
Ladies,
I'll be.
You know I'm never too far for you, and the world can't wait if I'm waiting on you. So don't leave me waiting long. You know that I got love. Whenever you need some, just call my line. 'Cause the miles ain't nothing but a number. They can't take nothing from us. You know we always got each other. If I'm on your mind at any time, just know that I won't go away. Won't go away. Won't go away. I'll be walk along, I'll be walk along, I'll be walk along,
This is Spinal, Omale and Tyler with one titled One Call. It takes us to 54 minutes past 11 o'clock Central African time. We're wrapping things up. Lulu Kabu is here and she let us know what's coming up on her show. It's titled The Africa Update. Hey, Lulu.
Hello. It's a
Ooh,
happy
Lulu
birthday.
Ubuyile. Lulu
Hey.
is back. Yeah, no, it's a birthday today. Selena is not
Selena's
around.
not around. Yeah. Well, wherever she is, I'm sure she's listening. And happy birthday to you. Hey.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So today on Africa Update, we are going to be looking at Rwanda with the President Paul Kagame having replaced the country's prime minister with the deputy governor of the central bank. So we'll be unpacking that story and just looking at what the reasoning is behind it, and what a difference the deputy governor of the central bank will make, if any. So it's something to look forward to. And then also southern Cameroon's Ambazonia in South Africa believe that 92-year-old Paul Biya should not run for re-election in October. He's 92. We saw some visuals on our news channels over a few weeks ago, and he was walking quite slow. And but these were old visuals, and a lot of people are saying that he hasn't been seen in public. And why is he rerunning for election, and are calling on opposition parties to work together and focus on one candidate. And we have a guest coming to join us in studio, and he'll unpack for us what they are calling for as the Ambazonia citizen resident in South Africa, that is Cletus Sufri. So we're looking forward to that, and all that and more coming up on Africa Update from the top of the hour.
We are looking forward to them. Thank you so much, Lulu. And we are going to be tuned in and making sure that we know what's going on there. I know that I put you up on the SABC Plus app when I drive home. Hey, don't think when I leave here I'm not listening to you, Lulu. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
I think it's addictive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I do the same thing with the website, so it's addictive. It's addictive, yeah.
So cool, man. We're looking forward to all that and more. Stay with us right here on Channel Africa.
Send you my home address. Now your love can heal my stress. To the end of time. Will you stay by my side, girl? I need you in my lifeline. Let me hold you so tight. I gon' make you my wife, girl. I gon' make you my wife, girl. Give it to me, mama. You drive me crazy, la. Inani fite tala. Anye mungane waku chara. Give it to me, mama. You drive me crazy, la. Inani fite tala. Anye mungane waku chara. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Come closer, oh my baby, wingora, nuriranza guhoza, pindufa Mendoza, gayo bari rancho koza ukanyemeza, jenda gachutango tosa uranoza, inana sinaeza, imifungo jenda pesa. Give it to me, mama, you drive me crazy, la. Inani fite tala, anye mungane waku chara. Give it to me, mama. You drive me crazy, la. Inani fite tala. Anye mungane waku chara. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, don't keep me waiting. Nafata naga konji. Find some time to the twembi, yeah. Vinera gushiduka, zinere gukanguka. Nizo shaka kwibuka. Give it to me, mama. You drive me crazy, la. Inani fite tala. Anye mungane waku chara. Give it to me, mama. You drive me crazy, la. Inani fite tala. Anye mungane waku chara. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending. I just wanna see you bendy. Baby, no more pretending.
Update coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa and Channel Africa from an African perspective. I'm Lulu Gabu. I'm in studio with Onele Nzinzi, Msibudi Makura and Buntle Headbush. Coming up in this hour. Rwanda's President Paul Kagame has replaced his country's prime minister, replacing him with the deputy governor of the central bank. And Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia in South Africa believe that 92-year-old Paul Biya should not run for re-election in October. But first up, the news with Onele Nzinzi and our sports headlines with Msibudi Makura.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Lulu, and greetings to our listeners. Moves to end fighting in Eastern Congo that are essential to U.S. President Donald